Hello guys, this is Yusuf. Shravan did a really nice introduction. Thank you for that. Today I'm going to present Baktir, that AI. So what is that? It is an intelligent property appraisal agent. What it does is it checks the feasibility of a protest. We're going to visit that in just a second, what it really does. So if you're a house owner, you probably know your home is appraised every single year by the Central Appraisal District. So one thing you should note is that this is just an estimate. Your property appraisal value is just an estimate. If you learn one thing from this class, one thing, it is that all models are wrong. All of them are just estimates, and your property value, appraisal value, is either above the actual value or below the actual value. We just don't know, and we're interested in properties that are appraised above the actual value. It's just not fair. You should go ahead and protest it. And how do you know that your property is overvalued? It's this tool. And how you need to go ahead and protest it? It's really simple. The answer is still this tool. So what it really looks like, what is it really? Um, it is really a simple web app where it meant to be simple. You enter your property ID and you get your property text file, protest file. We're gonna display it in just a second. It's meant to be simple. At the front end, it's just an input and output system. But under the hood, there are a lot of things happening. So for example, you get into your car, you put your key, you turn it, and it suddenly starts, right? In between that and starting, a lot of things are happening. 20, 50 steps. If one step is missing, it's not going to work. So it's the same here. Who will actually use this tool? Those are actually homeowners or property tax consultants, or both of them. The answer is really depends on the market. It really depends on you. Can you please raise your hand if you're a house owner? Okay. Please raise your hand if you protested last year.
No,
Last
no,
year,
last
no.
year.
Last year.
Protest before.
Okay, only one. So it's this. So the market is here. So it's like I would say only 10% or 20% in this audience actually protested. So all of other guys are future customers. Okay. If you want to protest it by yourself using this tool, or you want to protest it through a property tax consultant, and if you want to protest it through a property tax consultant, then the answer is it's going to be used by property tax consultants. If you want to do it by yourself, and the answer is house owners. And the thing is, the average saving just by protesting is $300 on average. So there's a good chance, really strong chance that just by protesting you're going to save $300. It is very easy, simple work. Just take the file to the CAT and get your discount, make your negotiation. The market is huge, and the tool is really, really simple. So the problem is, for you to be able to protest your property, you need to have a data, you need to have a proof, you have to have a case. You just cannot go there and say that, look, I believe that my property is overvalued, and what's your proof? Okay, there are multiple tools. There's sales data, there's appraisal data. You have to like make some sort of an analysis, and you should plot them in a map and all that. For an average person, it's a lot of work. For property tax consultation firms as well, they lack technology. A lot of them are still using Microsoft Access for database management and just an Excel for data analysis. It's not really advanced. They only have 1 or 2 full-time employees, and they are property tax consultants. They are not data analysts or data scientists. They don't know how to actually analyze it and make some sort of an automated system who could possibly do that. And the other thing is need for speed. So property taxes are appraised at the beginning of May, and you have only 1 month to protest it, okay? If you have one property, you can build it probably within a month. But you have 6,000 properties that needs to be worked within a month. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. You will be putting 60 to 70 hours a week for your employees, and you're gonna be paying overtime for each one of those employees. And with this tool, everything can be worked within a couple of hours in a day. Everything is worked, files are ready, just print them and take the appraisal district and get your discount. So what does it really deliver is a 3-page document. The first page is the basic summary about the property. This is the first page. It's a really usual document. And by law, Texas law, you have to build some sort of a sales comparable. If you find comparable sales within your neighborhood, if you make the right adjustments and if you present that it is overvalued, they have to accept it. So it is a valid, lawful method. So from data science perspective, maybe you could say that it should have been like machine learning, some sort of a regression, random forest, but it really doesn't work that way in appraisal district protest. The last thing output is a map. It is a plots of the subject property and the comparables on a map. We're gonna see that, and all within a seconds, really, in under 10 seconds. We're gonna see it in just a second. So how does it really work? How does it really do that? Is a lot of steps. The first thing is you have to combine all the data together: sales data, appraisal data, and the shapefile data. You have to geo-encode each and every property, because for you to be able to say that they are in the same neighborhood, you need to know exactly where they are in a geographic system. They need to be represented with a dot on the map. Within those areas, say half a mile radius, you find all the properties. Within those properties, you have to find the sales properties that are sold within last 2 years. Within those sales, you have to find the similar properties, not everything. After that, you have to adjust those properties features and come up with a value. And after that, you have to take some sort of a median value and put that as a suggested value. So what do we expect from this software in the future? Right now, it is limited to Denton County. It is a lot of data processing at the behind and data cleaning. But in the future, until May, it's going to cover Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, and Rockwall, the entire Dallas-Fort Worth. The properties are valued by May, so it's going to be ready by May. So it's going to include smarter distance calculator and smarter similarity scores just to accelerate the process. And the web right now is just an input and output system. It's going to be more sophisticated, where you probably have to log in and make some other decisions as well. So let's go over it just in here, in a live environment. So this is the website. It is simple. What is your property ID? You just enter it and you get some sort of an output. This output is the property text file that is uploaded to the S3 system in AWS. So it is in the cloud. if you really want to take it again, it is there. Just use the link and download it again in the future. So every output is downloaded immediately to the cloud. So what is your property ID? You have to you know it from the invoice you have it, or there's an easy way to go check it out from Denton CAD or every CAD page. You just have to say Denton CAD, search for your property, and get the property ID from here. For the demo purposes, we're gonna use a demo for a couple of properties and get an output and look at it all together. The one thing, okay, so the first property is valued as 8. It starts with the number 8. Property ID, so we're gonna try it with 8. So it should take about 10 seconds, but at the end we're gonna get an output like this. So I entered it, submitted it, and we're waiting. So what takes the most time is downloading the web page of the property and printing to PDF. It is a really simple process. You just, if you had to use it on your own in a browser, you just click on print to PDF, and within seconds you have it. But for this type of system, it takes a lot of time. So about 6 seconds is only for downloading it and printing it. The first way. Okay, we are done here. So this is our link. Okay, this is our output. This is in the cloud, and this is what the client is seeing. So this page is the summary about the property. So this property is here. This is the appraisal value here. These are all the details that you may need during the property tax. And this is the most important section, because this is where you have the comparable. So the first comparable is this one, which is property ID is here. Comparable 2, comparable 3 are here with property IDs. They built around the same time, 5 years apart. We don't have a year adjustment because it's the same year for this one. These are the year adjustments, living area adjustments here. So at the end, what you have here is adjusted sales prices, and the median value is your suggested adjusted sales price. Why median? So that's what CAD is using. They are always taking the median out of the comparables. So here it's saying that the adjusted value is 155, but the appraisal value is 192. So what you're gonna be requesting is this value, 155. You're just gonna go say that my property should actually have been valued at 155. For this property, the difference is about 30,000. Those saving should be about $600 for this property alone with this kind of an argument. So the last one is this one. So it is a nice plot. It's just to prove that they are in the same neighborhood. Geographical distance is so important. So here you can see that the subject property is here, and the sales properties are not really far away from the subject property. They are around the same area. Although we prefer that they will be maybe somewhat closer, but there isn't just any sales in this area in other that could possibly be a good comparable. So we can go ahead and try with another property, but so this system, system has encoded every single property in Denton County. So theoretically speaking, it is working for all 200,000 properties. But for display purposes, so there's a lot of exceptions here or there. So we're gonna try with another property. We're gonna say maybe 58 here, and we're gonna submit it. So again, it's gonna take about 10 seconds. The way to accelerate it, maybe download it beforehand and save it in your local machine for every property, but it's a lot of data. The other option is to create that very first page by yourself with your database. Just pull the data from your database and create a nice one-page table instead of four-page table. And those are some of the methods that could be used. So I want to highlight something on this link. So okay, I am some sort of a say hacker. I wanna this is in the cloud. I should be go ahead and visit and download it by myself, right? As long as this works. But the thing is, this is random generated number. This part, this is the ID number 58, but the next section is randomly generated on here. So you're gonna be testing a lot of combinations to be able to get that. And in the future versions, you're not gonna even have this 58 here. You're never gonna know what that number is represented, what property. And even if you download something, you're gonna be downloading somebody else's property file. I'm sure there are other options there that needs to be tested for security. This is yeah. Let me put it in here. And yes, this actually finalizes my presentation. Thank you for coming here. I can take any questions if you have.
Coming for address instead of ID?
Yes, this is the next section. So yes, this should be right here. It's gonna say address or property ID because people just don't know their property ID. Yeah. It's gonna, when you click on it, it's gonna give you options because property ID is unique. Address is sometimes not. So it's gonna give you all the options, and you're just gonna click on it, and it's gonna work on that case. Yes, for now, yes. The only way to know it is through the cat page, and you don't really want to do that. Once you leave the website, you're losing that customer. It's hard because there are a lot of distractions here or there, and once he leaves the website, it's hard to make him come back. Maybe you're gonna lose 30-40% of customers.
For the geolocation, what database do you use?
Geolocation, great question. It's a really challenging. It comes through shape files actually. Shape files. A lot of the counties are open source. First, you have to code for each and every property. You have to find the center point. Once you find it, God, there are thousands of spatial references. Thousands. You have to know exactly what that shape file is, spatial reference is. Once you find that, you're gonna have to convert it to the Google's spatial reference. There are thousands of them. Once you figure out those, there is a way to convert that number, that reference number, to the other number. Once you figure that out, the rest is easy. So you're converting all those reference points to the Google's one. So it's gonna display something like minus 93 point whatever and 38 point whatever for longitude and latitude at the end. So what we're getting is latitude and longitude numbers. But because the challenge is about geo encoding, you cannot just do it with address. Addresses are not reliable. For 90% of the time, it's going to give you the result, but the 10%, 20%, it's just going to give you the wrong geolocation, and it's a lot of error. And this is 100% accuracy. We know exactly where that property is. Exactly. So once you once we point something in there, we know that that's actually the property. And the good thing is we have it for every single property.
Use the question. Where did you get those shapefiles from?
Yes, good question. It is open source.
Yeah.
It is Denton Cat page. Anyone go ahead and visit that page and download it. The government is sharing it. It is parcel level. It is a very unique shapefile. It is parcel level, so it is for every single property. It's a huge file.
So you used an algorithm to pull these properties together, right?
Yes.
What algorithm is that?
The first one is some sort of a similarity index where that's used in recommender systems. For example, you have certain features, and you're giving the most similar other users. It's the same deal here. You have certain property features, and based on correlation, you're giving the most similar properties. But the one that is being used in here is nothing more than setting some sort of thresholds in between the subject property. Say the property is built in 1990, and you put some sort of a filter. Say you want properties 5 year above and 5 year below for this one. So it is actually mentioned as a next phase. So that's correlation analysis is not reliable because it's not rating things the right way it should be. So in the next phase, it's going to be a custom similarity code algorithm that takes correlation analysis and weights the measures and gives you the one that should be given. So it is the next version.
Do you have a GoFundMe page? I'll give you
Yeah,
$300.
the idea is really great. So I don't have a really good resource, but we've seen it here. Only 10% of the property owners are protesting.
Yeah,
Their
latency of
property.
10 seconds is nothing. For what the value you're proposing, it's nothing. It's like really about getting it into the hands of the customers at this point of time.
Yes.
Even if it's like its algorithm is probably good enough.
Yes.
It's really getting into the hands of the customers and then getting their.
At this point, yeah, it is there. The only thing between this and customer is this being deployed in somewhere. By the way, I got this idea. It looks really cool, and this is my address. Let me show it in the first page. Okay, this is my new email address. So nobody knows this address, so I don't have anything in my inbox. Just go ahead and try it. It's working, and the first person is gonna get a free coffee from me from Starbucks. Just go ahead and hit me up. Just say hi.
How do your property values compare to like Zillow or Redfin or other
I'm just
commercial values?
yes.